Jessie. It's good to be with you today. Good to
What's
see you.
going on? How are you?
Very good, thank you. I like your shirt.
Oh, you do?
I do. You're looking very vacation. As I sat here and I scrapped everything that I was going to ask you since we were at
Uh-huh.
the end, and I was thinking now that we know after season one that the supers are enhanced and not born,
hmm
how they operate in the world is different. As an actor stepping into the role, how does that change how you portray A Train now that he almost has a chink that everyone is aware of?
So here's the thing about A Train, though. He's always known. Well, I can't say always, but he's been a part of the conspiracy, like the hidden, the underworkings of Vought in the world. Like he was the one, and it's loosely touched on, but we don't get into too much detail because it's kind of left up to perception. But he was the one who's running the drugs to and fro, to and from these different facilities.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of always known that this was a thing and that it could get out. And he's been reaping the benefits of keeping it quiet for so long. So that's more so something that's pretty much the only aspect that I had to reapply to him going into season 2 was what does it mean now that the cat's out of the bag? Because the level of secrets that A Train was withholding was a part of who he was.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of his mindset. His deep rooted characteristics are based in secrecy and deceit, and the willingness to go to those levels of whatever you want to call them just to maintain his position. And all of that has been deconstructed. So for him and for me, that has been the rebuild in season 2.
Mm-hmm. With a lot of talk was spent in season one about their vulnerabilities and how they can
Mm-hmm.
be taken down. And with A Train, to me, he's been most vulnerable when you see him interacting with his brother, because we don't know a whole
Mm-hmm.
lot of their backstory and how they came to be. Will we get more in depth into what A Train's early origin stories are in this upcoming season?
You will, without giving too much away, you will begin to understand where he comes from, like just generally speaking. I hope in season 3 we'll get into some more intricate detail, but in season 2 you will at least understand on a very broad scale why he is that way with his brother, and why he lacks those other relationships with other people, and why he's so desperate to maintain that status, that position in the 7, and with the fame and the fortune, and why it means so much to him. You'll see a little bit more about that.
That's good. Because I'm very curious. There's
Yeah.
so there's so many layers to them. At the core, they just seem so unhappy with
Right.
with everything. And anytime they're able to get the slightest bit of happiness, it's almost sucked away by the
Mm-hmm.
fame and all of the things that come with being part of the 7. Is it even possible for A Train and the other supers to even recognize or even have any happiness going forward?
I think the road to the 7 is so challenging that they've almost forgotten what happiness outside of the 7 looks like.
Mhm.
That's something that that kind of carries over as a theme for all of the members of the 7. You see it happen in real time with Starlight,
Mhm.
but you hear Maeve talk about it a lot in season 2, but a little bit in season 1 as well. But when you get to season 2, you'll hear her really get deep into what that road was like for her.
Mhm.
And you kind of get an idea of what it was like for A Train. We still don't know much about Black Noir,
Right.
but we can only imagine.
Mhm.
We can only imagine. But what we're learning as a whole is that road to the 7 is dark and lonely, and
Mm.
you find happiness within the 7, but you kind of lose what it was before you got there.
Mhm.
So that's really all they have left, to be honest, which is why it's so important for them.
It's interesting. The approach to this show has been particularly fascinating to me as a person who likes superhero movies. When you
Mm-hmm.
compare it to other superhero movies, we don't ever hear about the downside of fame and stardom and the things that come with idolation when you're
Right.
in that type of role. What's that been like for you, comparing it to, I imagine as a child growing up, you saw this, the other superhero type movies. What's that been like for you to participate in a project like this that's so counter to what we usually see about superheroes?
I'm so thankful that we get to tell that side of the story.
Mhm.
And, the way that we do it is very blunt, it's very bold, and it's very realistic in a sense, because these things would be amplified, 100 times over if it were real life. And that's
Mm.
kind of what we go for. Um, Superheroes have always been known to do the right thing, to make the right decision, to ultimately overcome, but they're human. That's the thing about the people in our show. Like you said, they're not born like this. They were made, they're constructed. They're like Vought, I don't know, like vault inventions, basically, but their inner workings, their mentality is still that of a human being. So they're gonna make some very human mistakes.
Right.
And they now are the most famous, some of the wealthiest people in the world, and the most powerful. So, they have three things that easily will deter you from your moral compass, and they're having to balance all of those things at once. And this is what you get. You get A-Trains, you get Homelanders, you get, these very corrupted people.
Mhm. And lastly, congratulations on season 3.
Thank you.
And I think that's my time. Congratulations on season 3. I appreciate you. Best of luck, and looking forward to seeing the rest of season 2.
Thank you very much. I look forward to you seeing it. Maybe we can get a chance to talk again a little later.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.